Hi my friends, Facebook users and all my subscribers to my channel. Today is Sunday, December the 10th, 2017, and I am going to do right now another clip, another video of my last evidence from the last months and couple of weeks and couple of days. This will be another part 4 clip, which I have already recorded yesterday, but it was my mistake that actually the clip was deleted from Facebook and also from YouTube, because I think I stretched a little bit too much out my user, my fair use under copyrights terms and condition when I put the short music clips with it, just to make the clip a little bit more viewable, not so boring. But anyways, so therefore I'm here right now to go on and change a little bit to it. It will be the same clips which you see, the same evidence, but without any music. So I will comment on some of my pictures, and otherwise it will be quiet in the background, and so you can focus actually on my evidence. What you see here right now is a picture from our last full moon, which I took. Actually, I did also recorded it, and I just did a screenshot on this. I was looking at our full moon with a laser infrared lens just to see how our moon was doing, if there was anything around our moon which would be from interest from us. But I could not see anything. There was chemtrailing, there was still chemtrails in our skies, and we also had some regular clouds, I believe, in the sky, so it was very hard to catch anything. So you guys watch my clip, have fun with it, and stay safe out there, whatever you do tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of the week, so watch the cell phone users and drive careful and be safe and kind to each other, my friends. Okay, here we go. So this clip was taken here on October the 2nd in the daytime. So please watch the 12 o'clock position on top on the sun and the chemtrail clouds. You will see something coming out of the clouds, behind the clouds. You can see it already. There's already a little shadow coming out of the clouds. This object actually have a color by itself, and I believe it is brownish, yellowish, orange looking, but it could also be that the chemtrails we have in our sky and our atmosphere actually painting this object and give the look of this kind of color. But I'm not so sure about it. Maybe it is just the color of this object and not the chemtrails at all. But keep in mind, this is very, very far out, and this object, like I said, is very far out, and it must have some kind of light which can reflect back into our atmosphere even during the daytime, but it can also get some light from our sun, which reflect the object even if it is behind the sun, so that we can see it maybe a little bit brighter as it might be actually is. You see, it's a pretty big object. It's traveling. It's traveling, or maybe just the clouds are giving a clear view right now of this object or onto this object by moving downwards. Moving downwards, and might be would give a free look to our sun, but this was not the case. The chemtrails actually kept themselves right in front of the sun and just gave the object, free for a open look onto it. This picture, what you see here right now, this little clip is actually made on the 3rd of October, also in the morning hours, and you still can see the object is still at the same position, which is 1 o'clock position at this moment, and it have not really moved that much from one day actually to the other day. I will let this clip run a little bit longer for you guys so that you can, have a good view on it. What you see actually underneath the sun to the 5 o'clock position, I believe, is the copy or the reflection of our sun into the chemtrails, and also reflecting out from the lens of my camera and my telescope lens, which was placed on my camera at this moment. Now let us move on to the next one, guys. This is also on the 3rd of October 2017, but later in the afternoon, where I did capture this object again. Here you can still see, you see our bright sun, you see the aurora, the bluish and greenish looking area, which is very hot, then the yellow outside, and then you see the reddish and pinkish aurora. You also see the object on 1 o'clock position, and you can see the color, and I believe this object have this kind of color of brownish yellowish looking. It could be the chemtrails in our atmosphere, but I believe this is the color of the object. Again, it was a half hour later. Like you can see, the sunset almost take place. The sun is going down, but still very bright at this moment. You see my laser lens, you see my camera lens moving around on the bottom underneath the sun, to the left and to the right when I actually move my camera, just for you guys that you can see the moving objects are always the lens flares, and the rest and stationary parts are the sun and the object very close to the sun, between, I would say it is between 1 and 2 o'clock position at this moment. It had moved a little bit from the upper part of 1 o'clock position, I believe. But this is what I capture here, and let me go on and take it a little bit more farther. There, here you can see already the ocean is not that far away from the sun at this moment. And there were already chemtrails in front of the sun, which interfered a little bit. You see, the funny look of the sun, where the rays of the sun actually spread a little bit out to the side. You see the object still on the 2 o'clock position. You see the sun halos, very bright, going out, not only the orange and the yellowish looking and red looking halo. It is looks like it is an all color and also in some kind of light green color. I took this video clip here from Panama City Beach, Florida, where I'm located. It's almost every time I take this picture or a clip of the sun, it will be from the same area. Sometimes I stay behind the pier, but most of the time I try to do it from the same position just to have a clear view of our sun and nothing in the way. Here it is a little bit later again, and I was going to show you, if you play with the light a little bit, it's the way, you know, the sun comes into the camera, or the way we look at the sun, where the earth is and what kind of angle to the sun, or also to the object which we captured here on the 2 o'clock position. So you can have the sun very, very bright, and as brighter the sun is, as harder it is to see the object above and behind the sun, because the brightness of the sun interfere our view, and as higher and higher the sun is, as much brighter is the sun. So you know, you don't have to wonder when you don't see the object, because you can't, because it is way too bright to look at the sun with your bare eyes. You never will be able to see this object, this huge object, right behind the sun. What you just saw and see on the bottom on 5-6 o'clock position is just a reflection of our sun into the chemtrails and also the lens flares, which are still there and moving around. So here you see again, I was playing again, you know, with the color, with my camera. You see how bright it is, and you don't see any object. It is gone. So now I go back, a different position, and you can see, you know, the sun is there, the chemtrails are there, and you see the object is already disappeared behind the chemtrails. Let me go on a little bit further here in this clip. You still can see here the sun is already set. You still see above the chemtrails, but behind still a 2 o'clock position. You still can see the shadow of this object. But here right now, where the chemtrails actually came much tighter together and closer to the sun and to the sunset, it was almost impossible to catch this object again. I let this run here a little bit longer for you guys. So you see the sun was set. It's going down. The chemtrails are above. Right now we can feel and see the chemtrails right on the ocean, on top on the ocean, so that you do not really see the sunset of the sun. Like you can see, the object was gone behind the chemtrails. I was taking a short clip of the moon the same day, because the moon appeared very bright but also reddish looking. So, you know, I think this is because of the reflection of our ionized air and atmosphere, which let the moon appear in a red color too. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Looks like a blood moon again, with this reddish face here. The sun is gone. The object was gone too. There was just some little white spots to see, but that was all what I could capture this day. This video clip was taken on the 4th of October. Like you can see, it was very cloudy, a lot of chemtrails in the sky, so that I had not a clear view of the sun at this moment. But like you can see, there was around the sun very close some little objects. But I will lead you to this clip here and you will see what I'm talking about in a little bit. Watch the 12 o'clock position. It's a couple of minutes later. You can see the sun and some other objects being close to the sun, coming out of the chemtrails at this moment. And you can see some strange glowing round balls and objects right very close to the area where the sun was. This black on top on the sun, there was all black chemtrails. And I hope you can see the rays here right now. Try to show it to you, where the sun was actually going over the chemtrails, and then you saw these little objects very, very close to the sun that was glowing. And you could see actually those objects even with the chemtrails around. Let me go a little bit farther here. Oh, here we have already another look. Have to go a little bit away so that we can see it a little bit better here. You see a ray is just coming out, the sun ray on one side, 1 o'clock position, some open spots in the chemtrails. I was looking very, very weird. You see something going on top on the sun to the right side. And you will also see something a little bit above. Now we have 2 sun rays coming out. The sun is going lower. Let us go a little bit farther here into this clip. You can see the strange color above the sun. There was this one spot with a yellowish looking color out. It was looking like something came out of these chemtrails. Very, very weird. Was this open spot like a hole. You can see it looks like a face, like, you know, something was glowing through it. Looks like a face. Then you see above the sun, where you see the rays coming out, you see to the 11 o'clock position, a little bit farther on top on the chemtrails, you see an object glowing. You see on top on the sun something going on and glowing, like there was another object in this area here. You see it here, you see here and here something, here very close to the sun. You will see in a little bit there comes one more object out here to the 9 o'clock position. And you see right now another object here at 2 o'clock position, which I think is the object I have captured before in the other video clip, but here on this one, and I showed it to you earlier. Very strange skies, my friends, but there's definitely something there. Just going a little bit farther right now, 2 minutes longer. You still see the 2 o'clock object. You see a 9 o'clock object position a little bit outside, very close to the sun. You saw something, and here it is already where the sun actually disappeared already behind the chemtrails. This is above the sun. You see the blue sky. There were no chemtrails. Like I said, the chemtrails are mostly right in front of the sun. You could see the sun rays just coming out of there. That's the way it was looking here. Now let us go on a little. That's 4 minutes later. Like you can see, there is on top on the sun this yellowish looking spot. It's wide open. Some other little spots. You can see the lights to the sun side, and you can see the sun actually coming out, or try to come out behind the chemtrails, but you can see those objects here going to the side, moving to the side, being on the side. The sun is right here, is going behind this part here right now, and you see those objects there. They are separating from the sun, like you can see. One object, two objects. There's another one here on the side, here underneath. Yeah, my friends, our sky is full of surprises, full of little objects. So here the sun came already out. You can see, you know, the brightness. Sun rays are shining up into the chemtrails. You can still see some objects to the side of the sun. You can see a shadow, a reflection of the sun into the chemtrails here on the bottom. At this part here, at this point, this is not an object, I believe. Whoops, what we do get here? Sorry guys, there's another clip. So here we are back on the sun. On this day, this clip is almost over. You still see here on the 12 o'clock position, there's a little something. Something is moving to the side. We have definitely something here. But I believe this one was just a reflection into the chemtrail. But I'm not 100% sure, my friends. Let us go to the next one. Still October the 4th, a little bit later. Like you can see, all of a sudden we had also chemtrails below the sun. The object is here, 9 o'clock. Something was going on top here. And I believe this is just a shadow which went going into the chemtrails here. The chemtrails was not there before. I don't know, actually, I cannot say why they're coming in so fast. And placing themselves, when they're coming from the side, placing themselves, like they're going together, like a magnet. And then all of a sudden you see them, they're coming down here, and sometimes they are here below the sun, where the sunset is, and then you cannot even see the sunset. So this object here is still there, like you can see. It's a little bit bright right now, where the sun shines. You see another object, 12 o'clock position, which is this little orange looking one. And now look at the sun on the bottom. Looks like there was something coming out to the 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock position and separated themselves from our sun, which would indicate that we have more objects, and not only small objects, in our sun. And that's why I call our sun the cluster sun. You see 12 o'clock, orange, yellow, glowing object. Look underneath the sun, look at this. Then you see a spot here. The other spot is now behind the chemtrails. There was something, now we have something here to 11 o'clock, but it could also be, I'm not so sure about this object. Maybe it just came out because the sun is going a little bit smaller. Like you can see, the brightness of the sun is gone. As closer it goes to the sunset, the other object on top, you see, is still there. And here is the other object at 2 o'clock position. Yeah, there's definitely something in and around our sun and in our solar system, my friends. Sunset took place, like you can see. The sun is now right on top on the ocean, or is going behind the ocean. Try to bring the color out a little bit more here. You see, the sky was looking very dark, darkish, reddish, blackish on top, pinkish, above the sun, orange, yellow color looking. Yeah, very strange colors here. And here on the bottom you see the lens flare from the camera, and here maybe a reflection into the water, but I'm not so sure. I think maybe it's just from the lens flares. Otherwise it would be a reflection, you know, from our sun. You see here some spots open up above here. We have something a little bit, one here. The one on 9 o'clock is gone. Something is also behind there. Here you see some little spots. But not all of them are planetary objects, my friends. Some of them are really, you know, made by the chemtrails. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they modify these chemtrails or these clouds to make them look like that. You see here on the top, there's something, here's something going on, definitely. Here a little spot, sun is almost gone. And this was the clip here on the 4th of October. Looks like, you know, something was separating from the sun. This clip here, my friend, was taken by myself on the 11th of October. So that means exactly 7 days later as the other clip you just have seen before this one here. We still had some chemtrails in the sky, like you can see. The sun had a very funny shape, was not really round. Like you can see in a little bit in this clip, there was all of a sudden an object at 5 o'clock position. You will see it in a little bit more. It is at 5 o'clock position at this moment, like you can see, and I was assuming when I took the clip before that the shadow we saw in the other clip was just a shadow into the chemtrail. Here right now, this is not a shadow into the chemtrail because this object is at 5 o'clock position and it is disappearing behind the chemtrails. It's coming lower, like you can see, behind the chemtrails. You can see it, but you also see a little shadow, a little reflection of this object into my lens, into my camera, which gave it a look like it is a double object, but one object is there and the other is a little bit moving around. You can see on top here, you see this little object which we had a couple of days before. You see the sun rays coming out of the clouds, and there you see the object coming out and going behind those chemtrails, or the chemtrails hiding this object. But I believe sometimes the chemtrails are not strong enough or not thick enough, and that's the reason why we can see the object there and not disappearing right behind the chemtrails like it was in so many cases before. You see a little something here on top. This is still 11 o'clock position, where I think there was something. Let me go and take the lights a little bit. The light a little bit brighter, because this object, what I have captured in this area here, there's a little something too, and you also can see it on the other side. Like I said, the sun is here where the rays are coming out. This object is only glowing. This object gets reflected from the sun and maybe have light by itself after it rejuvenated itself, but it do not send any rays out. Like you can see, this is just the sun. Let us go on a little bit more further here, because this is clip is kind of long and I want to shorten it up. I have more to show. So this is already 10 minutes or 12 minutes later, where you can see the sun is already getting closer again to the water. You see some little objects here, some maybe on the side, something maybe in here. The object we had are on the top, but you see all those chemtrails, they're going all the way up here. So they are hiding pretty good. These little objects, planetary objects, so close to our sun, while they have not the ability to shine all the way out. Another really good shot here. I just see the chemtrails. The chemtrails are in front of this object, but the sun is so bright, and it even look like the sun is in front of the chemtrails, but this is not the case. Here you see the sun gets separated. The object is already on the bottom here. There's some more light reflection on top. You see the sun cannot be that long, you know. It is impossible. Our sun, you know, is in this area here, and object is another, is on the bottom with some other object, but they're very close together, and when they're coming out you can actually see it again. I had to adjust a little bit my camera again, because sometimes when it is very windy, or I just turn a little bit, you know, my adjustment, then I can mess it up pretty fast, and then, you know, you see those double lights or double pictures. So here we go again, the sun again. The object seems to glow here on the bottom. At this moment it do not shows, or maybe that's a reflection of this object. The object is here in this area. But like I said, it depends how much chemtrails we have in front of it, but you can see with the thermal lens, you can see the heat reflection, and you still can see the object. So this object actually have heat reflection. It gives heat of itself into the camera. So even if it is not that hot as the sun, but there is some kind of heat involvement with this object, which we can see here right now. Let me stop here and go a little bit more further. This is the last minute or last couple of seconds where I captured this object together with the sun. I think my recording capability and capacity was already running out, and that's why I could not go all the way to the end. I had to change. You see, that's a very nice view here again into the chemtrails. Nice color. You see the color lens, flower lens flares going around there. And it was this for this moment here. You will see in this clip here an object coming out or moving into the or out of the sun area. You see, it's pretty big actually. Pretty big, but this is not the sun. The sun is at this time already behind the chemtrails. And this object was actually moving right with the sun or after the sun. You can see it. You can see it there where my finger is here right now. I was not aware of it, that I have captured an object. Otherwise I would have been right, you know, onto it. You see a little spot coming out here already. The sun is above here, somewhere in this area. Looks like on the other side there was a little object too. And you see the object is shining here. It's open. Let me see if I capture it again here. Not so sure. A lot of chemtrails, like you can see. So there's a little bit more of this clip here, where you can see actually that there was something here, some little objects very close to the sun, very bright, but if you look at the sky, and there was also a shadow coming out of there, like you can see. Okay, we're going on to the next clip. I will show you really quick this clip here. It is from the 17th or 16th of October, 2 days later. You see a sun ray coming out here out of the clouds. You see an object here. The sky did look very, very weird at this moment. Seems like there was some little things going on here. Here was something behind. A different color, round object. But this was all what I could catch in this clip. One more time, back to this clip here. There was a discoloration here, which appeared like orange looking object. And then we had to the right side, there in this area, a couple of round spots. Underneath was open up something. This is the discoloration here, an orange looking color. There was something going on here on top in this area. So like I said, the skies are very, very weird, and you see how the chemtrails can look sometimes. They can give you a view of something what might be is not an object, but you can never be sure. And like I mentioned already before in some of my other clips, when the sky looks like that with a lot of chemtrails, and it looks like there is something, but there is nothing. But on the other hand, it looks like there's nothing, and then you capture something. But that was all for this day here. This was a clip from the 17th of October in the afternoon. I had to show this again and play this backward because I want to show you why I call the sun the cluster sun. You see all these little balls coming out here? They are not lens flares, you know, this is in the sun. Whatever is around here, these are little objects and bigger objects, guys, and that's why the sun looks like a cluster sun. Let us go on. This clip here was shot on November the 4th. So it is 3 weeks later, where the sun is almost set. You see the lens flares on top and also on here and here. A lot of lens flares I captured this day. You see that we have an object here on 12 o'clock again. We have one on 3 o'clock, very close. Something is already here to see. Maybe it's already in reflection into the or behind the chemtrails. I don't know. Something was here on the right side, but it could be a stretch out from the chemtrails. I'm not so sure. I was just wondering why we had such a funny looking sun at this moment when I captured this. But you will see something funny happen just in a little bit. Look at this area here. Something came out again. It's again this orange, yellowish looking object, I believe. Here is something inside. There. Looks like a chemtrail, and there's something also on the other side. Sun is coming down. It's coming down. It's already on the water, close to disappear. Let me go on a little bit. So here you see the sun separating from the object here on top. There's a little something. Here you see a little shadow. This is still bright and lightening up. Here's something. The sun is here. The sun have a reflection here onto the side, which can be a reflection from the or into the chemtrails. I was wondering because it took a long time this day for the sun actually to set and to disappear. Normally you look at the sun when the sun is already down like that, and it goes like quick like that, the sun is gone. But it was taking a little bit longer at this day. There's a little something here on top on the sun. Just could see it reflecting into the chemtrail, and that's what it is. This is something what I catched in the sky from the November the 12th, and it was already way in the afternoon, I think by 4:15 or 4:25. And I catch this here because it appeared like very funny with the color, and also like there were separated objects close to each other, and I needed to catch it. I think it was worth it to catch it, and when I was doing the enhancement with the color, it appeared like there was several objects hiding behind the clouds. You see here some two white objects, a little one here on the bottom. I had to adjust the camera again so that you guys could actually see it. Something was glowing out of this area here. And here we go again. We had some white clouds and some of these black spots, which I think were the chemtrails. And see this area again here with these funny looking shadows, like here, there. Then the different color between yellow and orange looking. There was something here, looks like a little shadow of a round object in the sky. This is something what I captured, I think it was also on the 17th, and I needed to show you that because it looks like we have one glowing object here, one in the middle, one there. So where is the sun? And then something which I thought is the sun is coming out underneath, and we have another shiny object here, and above. I will let you see this clip all the way through the end. So you see some shadow looking object here in this area. You really have to look pretty good, and you have a good eye. You need to have a good eye for those objects, because otherwise you will miss them. Look at this, isn't it pretty? It is pretty, but it's kind of scary. They're the reason for our government and the other governments around our our Earth, that they do chemtrailing our skies, is not the honest reason to keep the planet cool and cool them down with all these poisoning what they put in the air. There's a different reason for that, because at this time in the evening the sun is not that hot no more. They should chemtrail then in the morning or in middays between 11 and 2 o'clock and not late in the evening. So look at this. The sun goes down. You can see already the sun is not very round. Here you see the sun coming out. A chemtrail coming here in front of the sun, which actually was looking pretty cool. I had it longer running and it was looking like there was a big huge airplane coming right in front of this of the sun. It was looking awesome, like a dragon. You see a little spot here. This glowing area here was still there a little bit later. And look at this area here. You see some little round balls, not on top on the chemtrails, which also illuminating. I think it is because the compounds they have in those chemtrails, why it looks like sometimes they are, also glowing or, shiny. But these little balls here, these little round 4 little areas here, they are little objects. So my friends, I hope you had fun with this last clip. And now I think I can upload it because there is no content on it, which not do allow me to do that. I did not use any music from anybody. I won't do this no more. Next time might be I will sing for you. Maybe I sing some Christmas songs. So it's my singing, my voice, and nobody complain about it but me. You all be safe. Have a good night. A good night's sleep. I hope you have a good week, good working week in front of you. I hope we have not that much things happen before Christmas, that we still have peace and freedom with other countries. But we will see. Everything doesn't look that good as this moment. But beside that concern, we also have concern about our universe, our solar system, and the surroundings of our sun with the Nemesis system and its moons, which is coming closer and it's coming in, and we will see what it brings to us and hope not too much more catastrophic events, that we make it all through and that everything just will be fine. So with that said, you all have a good night, enjoy my clip, and I see you to another day, another date, another time. Good night. Bye bye.